This episode is brought to you in part by SCREAMBOX. Stream unlimited horror movies for one low monthly price.
Oh, you weren't making me laugh. It was just that attitude.
And that's why I'm banned from sitting on Santa's lap at the mall.
Hey Ian, can you pass me a cookie?
Looks like we're all out.
Oh man, I didn't even get one of those.
Neither did I.
Neither did I. Where's my cookies?
Hey, where's Evan?
Gingerbread cookies always make an appearance on my holiday platters, but after making ginger dead men several years in a row, I wanted to try something a little different. So this year, I'm making the killer gingerbread men from the movie Krampus. You can absolutely use store-bought dough to make these, but I'll be showing you my recipe for my favorite gingerbread dough. The cookies are crisp on the edges while remaining slightly soft and chewy on the inside. To make these look similar to the cookies in the film, I made my own cookie cutter out of heavy-duty foil, but regular cookie cutters will work just fine. Head over to the homicidalhomemaker.com for the full recipe and to learn how to make your own cookie cutters. To get started, you'll need 3½ cups of flour, 3/4 cup of packed dark brown sugar, 2/3 cup of molasses, 2/3 cup of salted butter softened to room temperature, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon each of ground cinnamon and ginger, 1/2 teaspoon each of ground cloves and allspice, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. For decorating, you'll need 1 batch of cookie icing in white, pink, green, and red, and candy canes. You'll also need a cookie cutter, rolling pin, baking sheet, parchment paper or silicone baking mats, and large wooden skewers. A standard gingerbread man cutter will work just fine, but I chose to make my own cutter out of heavy-duty foil. Head over to my website, thehomicidalhomemaker.com, for a full step-by-step tutorial on how to make your own. In the bowl of a stand mixer, beat the butter on medium speed for 1 minute until smooth. Then add the brown sugar and molasses and beat on medium-high speed until combined. Next, add in the egg and vanilla and beat on high speed for 2 minutes. Scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl with a spatula as needed. In a separate bowl, mix together the flour, baking soda, and spices. Turn the mixer to low speed and then gradually add the dry mix into the wet until combined. Divide the dough in half and wrap each piece with a piece of plastic wrap. Pat into a disc shape and allow to chill in the icebox for at least 3 hours, but preferably overnight. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. Remove 1 disc of chilled dough from the icebox. Generously flour your work surface, your hands, and your rolling pin. This dough can get sticky. Roll out the dough to about 1/4 inch thick. Cut out the cookies and place onto prepared baking sheets. I used a decorating tip to cut bite marks out of a few of their heads and a large wooden skewer to roll up some of their hands. Bake cookies for 10 to 12 minutes. Once the cookies have baked, use a butter knife or fondant sculpting tool to add their sinister eyebrows. It's important to do this step while the cookies are still hot. Allow them to cool for at least 5 minutes on the cookie sheet before transferring them to a cooling rack. Once completely cool, decorate with icing and candy canes. Allow the icing to fully dry before serving. If you have a cooking question or there's a recipe that you'd like to see on an upcoming episode, send me an email at ask@thehomicidalhomemaker.com. And if you make any of my recipes, be sure to tag me on social media for a chance to be featured on the end credits of an upcoming episode.
If you enjoyed that recipe, don't worry, there's a skeleton more where that came from. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.